Hey guys, how's it going? I just went through the lovely botanical gardens in the great town of Birmingham. I think it's Birmingham, Alabama. And I had a lovely breakfast before that at a local pancake house. So you'll see a picture of that. It is so good. Whatever I had, some kind of Danish specialty crepe. It was most fantastic. Awesome. It was -6 last night. I only got 3.5, 4 hours of sleep. So I am pretty tired, but I'm warming up. So that's awesome. And I'm more or less on my way to New Orleans right now. I still got to show you some treasures I found, and an angel gave me a little bit of a gift. And I will talk about that a little bit later. So stay tuned. So I'm at a trucker stop or whatever between Birmingham and New Orleans, and I used McDonald's Wi-Fi because Subway didn't have it. And so, just for joke, whatever, just to be polite, I guess, I went into the McDonald's and I looked through the menu. Literally have no salads, no vegetarian options. I was like, okay. Went to Subway, 0 vegetarian options. I was like, universe, like what? So there's an Indian shop here. Doesn't have the highest reviews, but this guy understands the lifestyle of a vegetarian. So not exactly sure what I'm going to get, but I think it's going to be awesome. So much love for India, as always. Look at this beautiful food here. Thank you, friends from India, always serving. So I stopped my streak by, going to a little bit more generic, traditional Alabama style breakfast this morning, and now we're into Indian food. So it's awesome. I got that. I got a big thing of rice, and I don't know what these are. I guess that's onions. Yeah, it looks like onions. So it's gonna be great. Super excited to eat. Hey guys, I am entering New Orleans, and wouldn't you know it, the gates have opened. I am over top of the Atlantic Ocean right now. What is up? And I also just committed to being at a show tonight by a band or an artist, a DJ named Imanu. And he's a 26-year-old genius French-Dutch DJ. And he looks to be quite skilled. And I am very excited to see what he will bring to the table. There's a ton of amazing blues options. Little Freddie King was an option I was getting pretty close to. There's a soul band, Soul Rebels or something that sounded friggin' awesome. But ultimately, I had to follow my gut, and my gut said, go with this random little genius DJ because I won't have a chance to see him tomorrow. Whereas I'm pretty sure I'll see other blues options tomorrow. And wow, it feels so incredible. I've never experienced something like this. Like what? I mean, I went to PI, and I guess PI is relatable, but this is different. This is a very different vibe. I feel like I'm, like going to PI is like going to a potato field. This is like going to New Orleans. So, yes, so very, very exciting. Look at that sun just blasting down at us. Yeah, no chance here, little snow. No chance at all. You can see a little bit of the fringe of it. Oh, you can see a little bit in the shadow there on the right as well. But no problem now. So let the good times roll. I'm about to go work out and figure out if I can catch a blues show before I can get to this other show. If I can make that happen, that would be clutch. But if not, I do plan to stay in New Orleans tonight and tomorrow night. So it'll be my official first day of 0 significant travel, which should be fun. Should give me a chance to catch up on some of that sleep that I've been massively neglecting. I can already taste the coffee that I'm going to have, so I can be partying all night with the DJ and the blues artists that are around. Anyway, so much love. I hope you can feel my energy. It is going off the charts. Absolutely. Hello, beautiful people. We are on January 25th in the dusk of the day, and I still haven't talked to you about so many things. This adventure is going way too fast. I'm not sleeping. I'm not. I'm just living so much, and so I wanted to try to catch up on some of the content that I said I would be making. So let me just take this opportunity to segue to the botanical garden I visited yesterday morning. It was cold still, and so you can see the frost in some of the photos. But going through the Japanese area, especially, there's like a tribute area for some association relationship to Japan, and it was awesome, so beautiful. You could really feel the presence, the consciousness, the collaboration with Japan to make it feel a little bit like Japan. I especially was amazed. I mean, the archway is cool and iconic, but I was especially amazed that there was the bamboo like concealed area. I loved the tiny garden. I think that is so cool, and I would love to implement that in my space. The rock garden was very cool. I don't fully understand it, but I appreciated it. I love seeing it, and I love that other people love it. So that was awesome. You can't see it in the video or the pictures. I didn't take one, but in the frozen lake, I'm pretty sure I took a picture of the frozen lake. You could see the koi under the water, or under the ice, sorry. Um, and they were big and they were moving around. So I was like, that is really cool. There was at least one or two giant trees I hugged that must have been at least 100, maybe 150 or more years old, and they were awesome. And they had such a strength about them, and a resilience. And I've done a lot of meditation throughout my journey, and I'm really picking up the culture and the feeling of the air and the consciousness of the area. And definitely can feel uncertainty, fear, concerns from many perspectives. But throughout all of that is a hopefulness and a heart and a love and a kindness and a generosity. So when I was in Louisville, Kentucky, I was speaking to many of the shopkeepers on that little strip that I mentioned yesterday's video, I believe it was. Yeah, time's getting all lost for me, so forgive me. But anyway, I just discovered after I left Nashville, as far as I was aware, or maybe no, I did discover it in Nashville before the show, but I didn't use any. The lovely Sarah, I believe it was, from Battered Something, slipped me a little gift, and that is so freaking awesome. And I just got another gift, but I'll talk about that in another video. And so it's just such a beautiful thing that people can be generous and give gifts to complete strangers, knowing that they can appreciate it potentially more than those that are giving the gift can appreciate it themselves. So that is freaking awesome. And sorry for stumbling around, but you can tell I'm still so excited, and hopefully you can tell I'm really sleep deprived. But it might not be showing in all my areas, but in some of them, hopefully you can notice if you're observant. So then further through the botanical garden, there was a ton of beautiful landscaping, some cute little waterfalls, some nice bridges. There was a beautiful meditation, like a peak that I really liked, really resonated with. I sat there for a few minutes and connected, and that's where I got some of that insight I shared a little bit ago. And then there's an indoor part, and there were some statues. The indoor part was fantastic. There's like a desert area, so that was a nice prep for what I might see in Texas and stuff like that. So yeah, really great time. It's mostly managed by volunteers, which is cute, adorable, and it's amazing that it's free. And like the museum in Cincinnati, I didn't quite understand why some of these amazing culture things with such learning and feeling opportunity are free. But that's awesome, because America's expensive. America's quite expensive. The price of food is the same price as, oh, it looks like I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time, is just as expensive as Canada. One second here, guys. I'm going to pause the video, see if I'm upsetting anybody. Nope, wasn't upsetting them. Just had to get out of their way. You might be wondering why I'm staying beside a train. Well, for one, because it's dusk, and for two, I love trains. So I'm trying to manifest some more association to trains during this journey. This is the New Orleans and Gulf Coast oil train, it looks like. So it probably runs oil, if I had to guess, from Louisiana to Texas, and I don't know where else. But anyway, I think that's awesome. And you can see it going down, and I don't have a clue where it ends, but that is A-okay. So back to my story. So after the Botanical Garden, I left that area. I talk about the food thing in a different video, and then I checked out a really cool little disc golf course in Hattieberry or something like that, and it was cool. Forgive me that I completely don't remember the names of these towns very well. And sorry, that was after I left Birmingham, Alabama. And then you see the video where I'm so excited going over the bridge, going into New Orleans. It was such a feeling, so exciting. Couldn't help but be just pumped as can be. And yeah, it was funny. The first neighborhood I went into, because I'm just using Anytime Fitness, so I don't know the neighborhoods. I'm just guessing which is a good neighborhood just based on the rating of the Anytime Fitness. So I ended up in a very low income, completely black neighborhood, and it was most interesting. The guy Cornell that I met, he's like all friendly at first, and then I told him, like, I asked him, I'm like, you want to guess where I'm from? He's like, California, New York. Those seem to be like the places where the interesting people come from, in the perspective of New Orleans people. They're like, yeah, you're weird. And then the third guess would be Colorado. But no, I revealed I was from Canada, and his vibe kind of switched a little. He's like, yo, you got to be careful, man. He had 2 golden teeth on the front. He was like 51. He was real strong, real big guy. And so it was really funny, because he gave me a vibe like, yeah, you seem nice, and I'm in a good mood, and yeah. But it seemed like if I wasn't nice and he wasn't in a good mood, might have been a little bit of a different dynamic there. So that was very cool, that I was able to keep myself safe and learn from multiple people in a few short interactions. That was a pretty sketchy place. And I don't mean that to be rude or whatever. I think everywhere's safe, but it's not safe for everybody. I have a few advantages over some people, and that's a wonderful thing. What else happened that day? Then I went to a show. I found the show. I went to a couple of Walmarts and learned that there is actually price discrepancies between neighborhoods in the same city. So very interesting to be aware of the actual economic racism going on in America. Watch out for that if you travel, because it's sketchy and kind of terrifying that in this, like, within 10 miles of 2 spots, the price of the same item can be significantly different. And yeah, so all is blessed there, for me anyway. Transparency, right? What can we do? Then I went to a show. I checked out a whole bunch of options for what to do last night, and I found the show Imanu,
and it was the artist is like some French Dutch genius guy, and he was a really good DJ. I'm not huge into the club scene overall, but I like to dance. I love to dance, in fact, and I was wearing the same sweater. And I had, it's like a little bit more cleaned up kind of vibe, but overall, I've had a similar vibe to right now. Um, I'm getting all dirty the last 24 hours. um, so yeah, it was really cool getting into this place, and right away, like a few people, connected with me. I'm happy to stand alone. Like I'm happy to just do my thing, but I do like to connect to people. I have a hard time doing it when it's loud, so it was nice to be there early enough that a few people could connect with me. And I could, start to build an understanding. The coolest looking dude there, like he had the coolest rave kind of outfit and these crazy steampunk glasses that he showed me later. Had the kaleidoscopes inside. He told me he was on Molly. I've never done Molly, but not gonna lie, that was a nice place to consider doing Molly for sure. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, then the first band or first DJ, Taryn, was awesome, very cool. I assume local. And then there's two girls, and they form a DJ set, like a whatever called Meow Mix, and they killed it. I was tuned into every vibration, and I feel so good dancing because like I can really represent all of those notes. And so when there's two people there, it really stimulated me to a whole nother level of hitting all of the notes. And yeah, it was so incredibly good, and I felt so loved and respected by the fellow people in the audience. Like I've noticed people that really are good at dancing, they dance with other people that are good at dancing. So when I've had like the best dancers in the room near me, I'm like, okay, feel recognized, feel the love, happy to do this thing. Yeah, so many people, see me smiling, having a great time. They want to come up and say hello, and I'm happy to meet all of them. There was two gay dudes. I want to say one of them's name was Owen. There was an Ethan. There was a Darby. Don't know where the main gentleman's name is, but he was cool as can be. A brother from another mother, no doubt at all. Very similar, cultural aesthetic. Other than him being way more raved out than I ever have been, and yeah, and then so the Meow Mix girls crushed it. I got to, send the love on to them personally, and then Imanu was really, really good too. He definitely extended his set, definitely had an encore, and it was great. Like not all of his stuff connected with me as much as Meow Mix, but it was really, really good, and some of it did connect to that same degree. So it was so cool, and so I was dancing there from like 11 to 2:30 in the morning, and I'm having the time of my life. I was gifted a tiny bit of the lowest quality marijuana I've seen in a decade, super dry and stuff like that, from my friend Sarah there in Louisville. And so I rolled and smoked a very humble joint, ridiculously humble. I would have rather, find somebody to give me something a little bit more quality, but that's okay. And so I had a great time, and I was still riding so high that I was like, I probably couldn't go to sleep if I tried. All right, I'm going to the poker table. So just down the street from the venue in the New Orleans Garden District is the Caesars Casino, like Caesars Palace or whatever. And what a fantastic place to play poker. So in my hometown area, you can only buy into a table for $200 at maximum or $500 maximum, depending on the buy-in of the per hand. But this place, you can buy in the maximum amount that's already at the table. So if I'm sitting there with $10,000, you can come up to the table, sit down with $10,000. And there was some rich guy from the Bay Area, and he had at least $2,500 sitting at a 1-3 table, which is a fairly decent chunk of change. And there was a few other guys with fairly big chunk of change too. But this one guy in particular, he was aggressive as can be. He'd throw $50 here, $40 there, $30 here, pre-flops, like just everywhere. $100 on the flop, $200 on the flop, just super casual, no problem, easy peasy. Well, that's exactly who I want to play with because I played pretty tight traditionally.
Ready.
And so
Fight.
I didn't lose a river. I played 2.5 hours. I don't want to tell you how well I did. I just want you to see my face and hear me say, I did really well. I only planned to be there an hour and a bit. I didn't leave until 5:30 in the morning because people just kept losing money in my favor. And that's always a nice time. So thank you, people of New Orleans and visitors of New Orleans who put me in a great situation. I might play again tonight after a show. We'll see. I should sleep. I might travel. I have options. We're just going to see where Spirit takes me because that's how I like to do this journey. Live it free. I stretched that day really far. After that, I worked out and went for breakfast at a really nice place. I guess I'll show you the breakfast I had. It was some kind of grits and poached egg and something and something and something. But it was very interesting. It was very good. It was very culturally significant to the area. I enjoyed it. There was a little bit of spice, like that Cajun spice. It reminds me of India. So that was great. And the art and the culture of the place I found was really cool, and I'll show you that as well. And then that will call it a day, and I'll start that next day. It'll be shorter, which is awesome, but I'm trying to catch up here, so we'll talk about that again.